Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting racing event tonight with the Palmetto Racing League StreetStock Series as they head out to Lanier Speedway tonight. 150 laps here as we see a little bit of a jam up there on the track. 150 laps tonight, halfway stage at 75. We will have, let's go ahead and get our track info up here, race info. My apologies. So this is week 7 here at Lanier Speedway of the regular season for the Street Stock Series. See the tiny little track we hear known as Lanier.
Vermont.
Very short track here,
You
just under half a mile.
race in real life? You raced up at Wisconsin?
So it should be
No,
definitely
there's
an
another
interesting
Zach
one.
that lives over in Maine. We
Got
both
some
race,
favorable
but, yeah, I
conditions
do
here.
race in real life.
As it
Primarily
appears,
from the road,
let's
where
go
race,
ahead and
stuff
get
like
some
that.
of our on-track info up as we go around.
Yeah, so I
Just a
live in
few more
Maine,
moments
and
left
I
here
thought you said that
in
there's a
practice
Zach
this
that
evening.
races at Wisconsin, so figured I'd ask. But it's funny that you know him too. Yeah, I raced him 2 years ago. I went over to Unity and I raced him over there. We were running first and second, so I'm sure the broadcasters had some of that. Or not broadcasters, but the announcers.
Got about a minute and a half left here of practice, and then these guys will be heading out for some qualifying laps, 2 qualifying laps from everyone tonight. It is a little bit of a smaller grid than we would normally have tonight. A few drivers were not able to make it due to other engagements such as work and things of that nature, and we 100% understand that. I do apologize. I'm just making sure I have things buttoned up over here on my end. Last week we had a little bit of technical issues, and I think we have figured out the problem. What I will say, and I just kind of want to go ahead and address it now. Um, Typically, when you're spectating or even racing in some senses, iRacing has a UI built into it as well that will show up some track info here, and that's what it looks like there on the screen. A little bit difficult to see, but as you can see, practice is now wrapping up, and we will be moving into the qualifying portion there. But in order for controls to go through to iRacing, that UI will have to be pulled up. So if at any time during the race you see that pop up, it's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just us making sure the commands are getting into these drivers and uh, penalties and things of that nature. So did just want to go ahead and put that out there. If you see that pop up on the screen there, it's nothing on your end, nothing that anyone has done. It's just our way of making sure that the commands are getting out to iRacing as a whole. And as we near the halfway stage, that UI will have to be up so that these drivers get their stage at lap 75. Should see some green flag pit stops here tonight, 75 laps. These guys are still running the 30% fuel cap here, so should still see some green flag pit stops here. Shouldn't stop us from that. I don't believe any of them will be able to do the full 75 laps without having to come in for some fuel, so but all in all, should be a good time tonight. nonetheless, I am definitely looking forward to some short track racing tonight, and I think a lot of these guys are as well. As it looks like most of these guys are getting in. I'm going to look real quick and see who we have left. Looks like we have 2 drivers looking to complete. Let's see here. My apologies. I am trying to check out our grid up here. See who all we have left to get some laps in real quick. Now there's a face we haven't seen in quite a while. Clayton Wise there coming out, jumping into the session last minute. Gonna get his qualifying laps in and cast his bid to be in this race. We haven't seen Clayton since the Eldora Dirt Race in the Truck Series months ago, toward the end of 2025 last year. So definitely was a surprise to see him out here on the track tonight. That's very interesting. Did not know that was going to happen. If anybody watched that Eldora race in the trucks, man, this guy got out there and made it look absolutely easy that night. So let's take a look here. Looks like most everybody that was going to get their laps in have already done so. Looks like we have a few drivers here that have not done so. They only have about a minute and a half to get that done. And we will move this forward and get gridded up here for the start of this race. Not sure if maybe Clayton is having a little bit of some mechanical difficulties or technical difficulties. Clearly he's missing the front of his car there. Somebody might need to check on him, make sure he's not sleeping.
Can you guys hear me?
Couple of drivers checking comms there, making sure their in-car comms are working as they should. Let's take a look and see what we got left here. About 30 seconds of qualifying left now, and we'll be looking to get this thing underway. And it looks like lone qualifying just wrapped up here, so we will go ahead and get our grid up and take all the other information down. It looks like our grid is going to try to be a little special again tonight, like it did before. That's no worries, though. We have a workaround, I do believe. There we are.
45 gets an EOL for this one.
So there's our grid up. Apologies, I do have some commands I need to get handed out here. As we look to get everyone gridded up. So just one driver starting this one off tonight with an EOL.
My screen just froze. Hold on, hopefully it comes. Sorry about that. My screen froze.
Go ahead and get that UI down now as we are about to go live here. Pace car should be coming off this time around.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are green. We'll change up our view a little bit here, give us a bit of a better view from up top. We'll bounce back and forth between these views here for a little bit. Kind of helps keep an eye on a broader spectrum of things here. Also gives us a chance to see wrecks as they happen. Gets a little bit better odds of having all the action in. I will say I'll have to see if we can't mix it up some, though. I don't want to be stuck there the entire time here, as we hear a little bit of contact from the wall. Not sure who that was from. May have been from the 27 there. 5 laps already completed here now. We look at the 96 of Clayton Wise there. First time running in the street stocks here tonight at Lanier. Zachary Audit in that 40 machine up in first place up there with Chris Schreiber right behind him. About a 2-second gap between the two here. As the drivers slow down to enter the turn. Nice little gap there from the 40 to start off with. About a 2-second gap between him and the 14 of Chris Schreiber there. Ten laps in this one already done, completed. If we stay like this, knock on wood, thank God I have some handy. The race should go pretty smoothly tonight. I will say the more time we spend under green flag conditions, the more spaced out the grid will get. But of course, with that will come the possibility of the leader running into lapped cars. And that could potentially create some chaos. Hopefully not, but it is a possibility, always is. As the 40 of Zach Audit there getting a little close to the wall, but he manages to do so very efficiently there. You see just literally inches away from the wall on the outside there from that passenger gyro view. Got a decent gap here so far, 3-second gap roughly between him and the 14 of Chris Schreiber there. Going to glance over at our incident log here, and so far so good on everything. Looks like these drivers are going to try to put them together a nice clean race so far. 15 of 150 laps down. As we see the rest of the pack now rounding out the turn there. Looked like there was a little bit of wash up there from the 40 of Zachary Audit, but no contact with the wall this time around. Be interesting to see how things shape out here. Short track racing, you can usually expect excessive tire wear pretty quickly, and you usually find out pretty fast who's overdriving the car early on. Zachary Audit here in the 40 though, looking like he's doing a great job there, going from the inside line to the outside. That will help extend the life of the tires a little there. Not as much wear as if he were picking one or the other and sticking with it. Kind of making use of the whole track there, and a lot of the drivers there behind him staying single file. Not much of a draft game here. It's more about conservation and who can hold on to their fuel mileage and their tires to make the most out of their race here. 21 laps already completed now of 150. As we see, the leaderboard is about the same. Not really seeing any position changes. And because this is a short track here, cautions are usually more abundant because the drivers don't have as much time to get off the track. It doesn't feel like we have been looking at this for that long, but we're already 23 laps down now, fixing to be 24. So you could see where a mistake here could really put you some laps down easily, especially if it winds up resulting in a trip to the pits for even using a fast repair, let alone taking any actual repair damage or damage from repairs. So I think I got a little jumbled up on my words there, but that's all right. We're going to keep it rolling just like these guys are out on this short track racing tonight. A little bit of contact with the wall there from the 40 of Zachary Audit. Overall, a pretty dominant lead so far. Just over almost a 4-second gap between him and the 14 of Chris Shriver, but I would dare say that the 14 of Chris Shriver is most likely pacing himself here. And I expect that pace to pick up some after the halfway stage at the completion of lap 75. We'll see how this unfolds. I think everyone is just kind of biding their time here. A little bit of sparks flying off the wall there with some contact. Let's take a look at some of these other guys toward the back here, kind of see how they're running. The 25 of Stephen Gall right behind Chris Shriver there. 12 of Andrew Ziegler. Most of you are probably familiar with him. He runs in our truck series as well on Saturday nights. Going to try to maybe get in on the inside there. No, looked like he kind of slacked off just a bit. You can see the rotors glowing red there as they came through the turn. .31 laps down now. So far, so good. Pretty uneventful race. Don't want to talk anything up. We know I have a bad habit of doing that. Hopefully I'm not sticking my foot in my mouth. This thing stays green, and these guys have them a really good race tonight. The 12 of Andrew Ziegler looks to go on the inside of the 25 of Stephen Gall there. Trying to make him a little move. Stephen moving to the outside. Now they're right outside one another. Very clean though, very clean. A little bit of wash up from the 25 there. And I feel like he's been running the inside here pretty dominantly there as that rear end tries to get loose just a little bit. Now it looks like the 96 of Clayton Y is going to try to squeeze in on that inside line. I will apologize in advance. I have been having issues with clearing my throat here lately. I'm trying to keep that off of the mic. Don't want to cause your ears any issues as these drivers keep us rolling under green flag conditions here. 36 laps down now. I have realized, and I do apologize, we do not have our track map up. Let's get that on the screen there for you. You can kind of see where these drivers are on this track. This is a small track, so even keeping up with the numbers up there on the map may be a little bit tricky. They're moving really fast due to the track size here. as the 96 of Clayton Wise there has made his way around the 25 of Stephen Gall out front now. Zachary Audit still holding down his just over 3.5 second lead there on Chris Shriver. Rest of these guys kind of staying together here. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned anyway, earlier on in the broadcast, this is a short track, so drafting is not really a thing here, which means these drivers can be a little bit more at ease with body damage and things of that nature. Body damage here will not affect your car, obviously, unless it's something of obvious sorts like a broken tire or something of that nature. But the body damage itself will not play a huge role here. These cars will be able to take a beating pretty well and still get out there and keep up with the competition, as this is not a draft track because of how small it is. Brent Thompson there in the 45, old Grandpa Thompson, trying to get out there and get it done. All of these guys out here trying to race for some points tonight and positions. They do have a playoff towards the end of the regular season, so some of your top higher positions will bring in some additional playoff points that will get added and factored in when the playoff season starts. There has already been folks looking at the cutoff bracket for the playoffs, as only the top 12 drivers will be playoff criteria. A little bit of wall contact from the 45 of Brent Thompson there. And so far, those top 12 drivers are starting to shape up relatively nicely. Been more talk over the last course of the last 2 weeks here about this long anticipated progression system coming into play, and I think that is something that all of you who are tuning in and watching will look forward to and get some excitement out of, and maybe even want to jump in on the action, as these drivers will have to start earning their spots in the series that they are in respectively. Very curious to see that get underway. I know the commissioner has put out some videos as of recent going over the new master rule book that will govern the progression system. And from what I can see in that, it looks to be like, oh, the 96 of Clayton Wise spun out there.
Saved by the bell, Aaron.
Let's go back and have a look at that real quick, see what happened there.
Screen froze. Screen froze again. God damn it. Sorry.
Looks like maybe got a little loose in the turn there. It's kind of what it looks like. Started to slide outward just a bit. And a slight loss of control there. The 25 just did miss him. So as we get back live here now, we'll get that aggravating looking UI off the screen there. And just that fast, first caution of the evening is now out of the way here, as these drivers look to make it to the halfway stage here. Kind of sucks for that 40 machine there, as he had a nice gap there early on between him and the 14 of Chris Shriver there, and now that gap has obviously been done away with here. Gonna bounce us around a little bit here, but we want to focus on what's happening up front because this is such a short track here. And I do know the 14 and the 40 here, they're definitely going to give it their all out there on the track. 14 wants that first place position just as bad as that 40 wants to hold on to it. So we do have the halfway stage coming up here in about 20 laps. We'll go ahead and apologize in advance again. Oh, the 40 of Zach getting a little squirrely there. He's able to hold on to it though. The 40 is right in on his tail. Andrew Ziegler right behind the 14 there. I do believe the tightening up of that pack there really just set the tone. Now that these guys are right back on the heels of Zachary Audit in that 40, they're going to try to keep it there. As Chris Shriver makes his way into the inside there, looked like there might have been a little bit of door banging going on between the two, but they were able to keep it straight. Got to try not to get overzealous here now. That 12 of Andrew Ziegler's got his nose right in the bumper of the 14 of Chris Shriver there. Zachary Audit and that 40 machine trying to get a little bit more of a gap going again here, but Chris Shriver in that 14 is not having it. He's going to try to keep that gap as tight as possible here. Lap 61 now of 150. Again, when we get closer to lap 70, the UI will come up on screen again. Again, just a reminder, that is nothing on y'all's end. It's something that we simply have to allow to be up so that the race control commands go through to the session. And they are keeping things tight here. Everybody wants a win here. Overall, great racing so far, though, from these guys. Things have been really clean, minus the, the 40 gets a little loose there as Chris Shriver jumps in on the inside and takes it back. Gets in first place for the first time tonight. A little bit of contact between the two there. They managed to hang on to it, though. Neither one really wanting to give an inch here. I do believe the tire wear there on the 14 of Chris Shriver is really starting to eat at him a little bit there. And also on the 40 of Zachary Audit, I look for these guys to come in the halfway stage here and get some fresh tires. Give them a little bit of grip back. 12 of Andrew Ziegler there. Keeping it in close. Maybe going to look to try and get his first win here tonight in the StreetStock series. I'm not really sure.
I don't know if I came down or if I gave you a lane. I'm not really too sure.
Not entirely sure there what the issue was there. This is not our halfway stage. So the green getting extended here now. or I'm sorry, my apologies, the caution here being extended to match up with the halfway stage to get these guys to that lap 75 so that everyone has plenty of time to get in there and get them some tires, get them some fuel. I'm not entirely sure what our cause for caution was there on that last time. This caution, I'm not seeing anything.
Damn, I got stuck behind the pace car.
Not seeing anything
Is
here.
this a halfway caution, I assume?
Josh, we're going to need to give us another lap to get these cars around. Josh, need another caution
Green,
so
green,
that we're
green.
around.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
I didn't clear my drop to the end. I mean, you guys put yourself in that spot. You should have had to deal with it.
There's the guy that was blocking me all the way down the bottom. There's a chance he could.
Guys, start past me. It's telling you to pass me.
Yeah, it's telling 14 to pass me.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah, we all got a black flag now.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a jumble out there. Another issue with the short track racing here, and the mix of things that I'm having to do over here behind the scenes, just to make sure everything is queued up and squared up like it's supposed to be. Lap 81 of 150 now. A little bit wide from the 40 there, kind of making contact with the wall. Wind down the laps and get closer to that 150 mark there.
Sorry about that, Eric.
Christian Shriver in that 14 now currently in third place there, with Andrew Ziegler just 2 seconds behind Zachary Audit in that 40 machine there. Tension's a little high out there with some of these drivers. A little bit of frustration going on out there, especially between the 14 and the 40 of Zachary Audit. Kind of hate that things did play out the way that they did, because I have no doubt both of those guys would have put on a show out there. Definitely would have been really competitive from start to finish. It was already shaping up to be that way. Lap 91 of 150 now, so just shy of 60 laps to go in this one. Little bit of net code going on there. Looked like from the number 12 of Andrew Ziegler. Disappeared for a hot second before reappearing there. Zachary Audit in that 40 machine still holding on to his gap there. Shriver in the 14. Looks like he moved up around Andrew Ziegler. Going to try to get around Clayton Wise in that 96 now. You better believe he wants to get as close to that 40 car as he can. And he will do everything within his power to make it happen. A lot of these guys love to get the win. They keep things very competitive out there on the track and always keep it interesting. Can be a little bit nerve-wracking at times, and these guys definitely do a good job of that. It's the 14 of Chris Shriver now. He's looking to close that gap now, basically traded spots here with Andrew Ziegler, who is now behind the 14 of Chris Shriver and the lap car of Clayton Wise in the 96 there. Moving into lap 100 now of 150, so just 50 to go in this one. Zachary Audit continues to ride pretty comfortable up there with a 2.5 second lead. Short track racing is always a good time, and I think I've mentioned it once already, but these guys have done a really good job of keeping it clean and competitive tonight, as the 96 of Clayton Wise gets a little loose back there on the small portion of the straight. Kept it in check though, but it may have been enough for Andrew Ziegler in that 12 machine to try to sneak in around him there. So he tries his best to get up there with the 14 of Chris Shriver there, who is also trying to gain on Zachary Audit. He is slowly trimming some time off of the gap there. Not a huge difference maker yet, but he is working on it, that is for sure. You can rest assured that the 40 of Zachary Audit is up there trying to hit his marks as he needs to do to keep that distance between him and the 14 of Chris Shriver to a great extent. It is not a battle he wants to have. We have seen a few unfortunate points in this season for several drivers. Zachary Audit being one, losing a win from a very trivial spin out not that long ago between him and another driver who is no longer a part of the league anymore, walked away for his own reasons. We want the good close racing, but we want it to stay competitive and not be something that's very trivial or controversial. That's for sure. As we ride up front here with the 96 of Clayton Wise, who is right behind the 14 of Chris Shriver there. Shriver kind of holding steady where he's at on the gap time there between he and the 40 machine. Doing what he can to try to close the gap there. He's at that what I refer to as the weird plateau portion of it here. He's shaving off some time and then losing some time, so kind of fluctuating here a little bit. 12 of Andrew Ziegler there, right behind the 96 of Clayton Wise. As we are cab hopping between cars here. Don't think the cameraman knew which person he wanted to ride it out with there. These drivers trying to leave it all on the track tonight. As it stands right now, we are looking at a possible first place win for the 40 of Zachary Audit, second for Chris Shriver, and third for Andrew Ziegler, with Stephen Gall in the 25 currently in fourth. That is if this race were to conclude right this minute, but we know it will not because there are 45 laps left to go, 44 left now. So this is still anyone's ball game, and those finisher positions could change up at any moment there, as it looks like the 96 of Clayton Wise is trying to also gain here so he can get himself back on the lead lap. Went a lap down in the pits there earlier, about 2 cautions ago, because I believe we've only had 3 now counting the halfway stage here. To every one of you at home watching, if you happen to be watching currently and you are in the live chat, we do respond to messages, so be sure to interact with us, ask your questions, throw out your favorite driver and who you're looking to win here. Make yourself known and speak with us a little bit. The interaction is always good. As the 12 of Andrew Ziegler there, still having a little bit of issue, it looks like, with some net code there. Nothing too terrible though. He's hanging in. Boy, have we seen some severe mess ups with net code, I tell you. I did race control for a race one night for another league, and saw something that really just, I never seen some pretty bad incidents, but and we have us another caution there. Don't mind the UI once again, just scoping the scene out here. I do believe that was another spin out there by the 96 of Clayton Wise. As we take a look at the replay here, just want to make sure that it wasn't a result of the 12 kind of getting into him there. I don't believe that is going to be the case, but we definitely want to make sure. No, nobody touching him there. Well, a little bit of contact there as the 12 looks to pass him. So no harm, no foul there. We'll give these guys another couple of laps here just to make sure we don't have a repeat mistake from earlier. Would like to go as smooth as possible here, as it looks like the number 14 of Chris Shriver is now our leader. Looks like maybe the 40 of Audit there went in for a pit stop. Fourth caution of the evening now. Do believe that is all we will need from the UI now. We'll let these guys run out these caution laps. Get everybody back on the same page and hopefully finish this one out under some green flag racing here. We are now 1 to green here. Andrew Ziegler in that 12 machine moving up to number 2. Zachary Audit now in 4th place there.
Green flag.
And we are green with just 22 laps to go. Chris Shriver going to try to get that lead early on there. Establishing a nice little gap there between he and the 12 of Andrew Ziegler. Zachary Audit in that 40 is not going to want to sit back there for too long. He will try his best to get around everyone here, as it looks like he is going to try that already. Got to be careful though, not a lot of room to work with, and 21 laps to go here is not a good place to be in trying to fight for position, but he is going to try his best to do so. As he is on the outside now, right outside the number 12. Jump back up front now, and Zachary Audit has now got himself up in 2nd, right behind the 14 of Chris Shriver, and he is going to do his best to try to get around that 14. All the 14's got to do here is hold on to it for 17 more laps. Oh, and he gets a little sideways there. Looked like there might have been some contact.
The yellow flag is out.
I would take blame for that, but I feel like I was there and couldn't do much more.
Let's take a look there and see what happened.
I was trying to pinch you down. That's kind of a...
Feel like you kind of came down.
Yeah, I pinched you down. That's kind of a racing thing. I was trying to hold it.
So that one is definitely going to be on the 12 there. The caution came out just in time, because I saw the battle for first place there heating up relatively quick between the 14 and the 40 for sure. Came out just in time enough to hold that first place position for the 14. See if he can finish out there and hold Zachary Audit off in that 40 machine from taking that first place position back over. No extension of the caution laps this go around because we are so close to the finish here.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are back green flag racing. "12 laps to go now. This one will be wrapped up momentarily, unless we have another caution. Something.
Yeah, I don't know what your problem is, man.
Are you serious, dude? I just got out of the pits and fixing myself and you intentionally hit me?
I'm not sure what happened there. Let's take a look and see here.
Hey Josh, there's no way I can get a wave because I've been a lap down. I've been in the front. I got every contact from H caution. I wasn't involved. I was involved, but it wasn't because of other causes.
Well, nice 12. That ended my race. Thanks for doing that for no reason.
I think we were looking at the wrong footage there. I think we needed to be looking at this one here. The 12 kind of got into the back of the 25 there. All right, we'll get us back live now. Try to get these guys ready to go here. Hopefully that will be the last caution of the race, and we can finish this one out. Couple of drivers trying to get caught up now.
Green flag, green flag.
6 laps to go in this one. Can we keep it green flag racing for the remainder here? Five laps to go in this one. As the battle's going to heat up here between the 14 and the 40. A little bit of door checking going on between the two. Nobody's wanting to give an inch here. A little bit of wall pinching there. It's 3 laps to go in this one. The 40 going to try his best to get away from the 14 there. Keep any further altercations from happening. All of these drivers wanting to win here. 2 laps to go now. 1 this time around. White flag lap. Here it is. And Zachary Audit and that 40 machine is your winner tonight here at Lanier Speedway. Another win for the 40 there. What a battle between him and the 14. I already knew neither one of these guys were going to be willing to give up an inch here.
If you think I'm going to hit you, I'm not. I'm just going up the road, kid.
Excellent job tonight by these guys. It was really fun one to watch. Definitely had some very exciting moments in it here as the 40 there gets his celebratory donuts in. Excellent race out there tonight. Let's check and see if anyone is in our transfer room waiting. Looks like we've got the 14 of Chris Shriver standing by, who finished in second place tonight. Let's go ahead and get him up in the booth
Left
here.
in 4 you guys, 3 you guys. Can you guys go
Chris,
back to
Josh in the booth. You got me,
133?
man?
And,
Ah,
go from
10-4. Good
Varsity
running out there tonight, man. I
from
knew
my
you were
view.
going to put up a hard
See if I get anything
fight
wrong
out there
there,
with the
but
40 of
I feel
Zachary
like
Audit.
I held that
What's your
yellow
feelings
line
on tonight's
and came
race?
down.
Yeah, he come down on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And he tried wrecking me after that, so came into the corner and ended up wrecking himself after trying to wreck me. So he can be mad all he wants.
Hey, Josh, I'm sitting in the transfer room.
Well, excellent run out there tonight, Chris, man. I knew it was going to be tight. I knew, especially there toward the end when you and him got around each other, I already knew it was going to be a well-fought competition there. You did amazing out there, man. You made it look easy, and I know it wasn't. So, excellent run out there tonight. Anybody you want to shout out? Well, Chris, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, man, and give us a post-race interview, buddy. You enjoy your evening, and we'll see you out there hopefully next week. Zach, Josh up here in the booth, man. How you doing? Zach, you got me? Zach, can you hear me?
Josh, I can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me on the other end.
I can hear you now. Excellent run out there tonight, man. Taking home another win. How you feeling? All right. I think we're having some issues there from the 40. We'll go ahead and talk to our third place finisher tonight, Brent Thompson in the 45 there. Let's get him up in the booth with us. Brent, Josh up here in the booth. How you copy?
Josh, it says that the...
Well, excellent run out there tonight in third, man. You did you did great out there. You looked like you dodged some shady incidents out there. How you feeling? Oh yeah, man. You kept it exciting for sure. I was worried about you there for a little bit when you went into the pits, but I don't think the gap got any bigger than 6 to 7 seconds from the leader. So you never stayed down and out, and you definitely didn't go a lap down. Got back up there and fought hard enough to get back up in third place. Anybody out here tonight you want to give a shout out to? Well, Brent, we certainly appreciate you as well, sir, and it's always a joy talking to you. Good luck in your race tonight in the other league, and we'll see you next week. All right, I like it. Zach, Josh up in the booth. We're going to try you one more time, buddy. Can you hear me? Think we may have a little bit of a delay going on. If you can hear me, though, just use Discord. Don't. There's a delay between the broadcast and us here in the Discord. Zach, let me know if you got a copy, man. All right, I don't think nothing doing out of the number 40's comms there. It's unfortunate. Definitely wanted to hear from our race winner tonight. Not entirely sure what's going on there. He definitely had a hard fought win out there tonight. Kept it interesting. Him and that 14, man, there's always going to be some exciting things out on the track anytime those two are out there, especially around one another. So did want to touch on one thing before we go ahead and jump out of here tonight. Don't believe I got a chance to put the point standings up. I'm sorry. I will get the rest of that stuff off the screen here. It was already supposed to have done that. But that is the current point standings at the conclusion of last weekend's race. Was not able to show you last weekend after the race. Same with this race. I will not be able to show you the updated point standings, but this is currently where we are. So you can imagine here with the 40 of Zach Audit taking home the win tonight, that should be enough to push him up over our current season standing leader of Kyle Simmons and put Zach up there in that first place spot in the season standings. Definitely a hard-fought win for him tonight, and well-deserved nonetheless for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us tonight. We do appreciate you joining us. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy days and hopping in on some racing action. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel throughout the week into next week as to when the broadcast for next week will be happening. May be moving back to Thursday. It has been undecided as of yet, but stay tuned to that. And don't forget our truck series for Palmetto Racing League will be taken to the track this weekend for some Daytona road course action, so that should be another interesting deal there. Be sure to join us for it. Don't miss out on it, and we hope to see you then. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll talk to you soon.